and thank you for being here, and thank you for your patience. And I greatly appreciate you guys, coming and join us for these particular sessions, because very, very soon we are going to get some numbers out of the US, and we need to focus on those numbers fairly quickly. So what I'm going to do is I am going to show you the numbers, because today is all about the US non-farm payroll data, and then the first number which usually comes out, which sets the tone for the US non-farm payroll number, is the US ADP number, or the employment number, and that is about to come very, very soon. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go straight to our platform, and we're going to see what exactly is going on in the world of trading. So let me just bring that platform once again on the MT4 platform. And in terms of news feed, this is where we are going to get that number. The ADP number is going to be coming right over here in front of us in a bit. So let's just have a focus. Let's keep our focus on these now. And what we're going to be focusing is going to be on the US non-farm payroll number. I'm just going to show you the live examples of how the market is really going to be acting. There you go. US ADP institution added jobs number of 330,000 jobs in July. So there you go. The number is very, very decent. There is no doubt about that. So let me just go quickly on Forex Factory to show you guys. So the number is like 330,000. As we said, it is a decent number in the normal times, but obviously this is far, far, far below then the forecast of 700,000 approximately. So it is not such a great number, and because it is not such a great number, we are seeing a sell-off in the market. I apologize, guys. We had just gone really, really deep into the analysis part straight away because of some IT issues that we had to. We weren't able to do things at the beginning. But as you can see, the market is reacting, and then look at the price action of gold on the back of this particular news. Massive momentum really is coming into gold prices, as you can see right in front of you guys. What it is telling us is that the number was very weak, and this means that the Federal Reserve isn't going to be tightening its monetary policy anytime soon, and hence the gold prices are moving very, very sharply to the upside. And at the same time, what we are also going to be looking at is the euro dollar pair as well. So let me just quickly bring that euro dollar pair over here. You will see a sort of a similar price action over here as well. There you go. So on the 15-minute time frame, you see the massive momentum in the euro dollar as well. So now let's go back to the analysis side, and then let's begin everything from the very top, and then we take things slowly and then come back into it. I just kind of wanted to show you guys how the market reacts to some important news, and especially the ADP number, which has set the tone for the US non-farm payroll number. And we will talk all about that in a lot more detail now. So let's go through on this one. Let me just switch that display. Okay. So as always, nothing can be considered as an advice. The full disclaimer is right in front of you. The contact details are also in front of you as well. Now, the agenda for today is importance of the US non-farm payroll data, what makes the US NFP reading, what instruments to trade, the current state of market and analysis, defining levels, and defining strategy. So this is the sort of the study questions if you wanted to understand that what we are going to be doing in this particular section. Now, did you guys get a good idea of what we were doing earlier in terms of a market's price action? Do you know like how I was talking, that how the data reacted? What is your feeling? So feel free to answer, to say anything that you like in relation to how we were very much reacting to the market's price action. You know, we shown you the ADP number. I mean, did you guys get any idea what was going on, how the data came, why those instruments moved? Is that does that really make sense? So people are saying that yes, you know, the data was a lot more weaker than the anticipation, and that has moved the gold price up. That is very, very good. You know, that shows that you guys are really understanding it. And if you don't understand it, just say that, look, we don't really understand it, we are just the newbies to this one, can you please break it down, which I am about to do that for you guys anyway. And we're going to take things from the very, very start. So importance of the US NFP, the first study question. The importance of the US NFP is the US NFP stands for US non-farm payroll data. It comes on the first Friday almost of every month at 1:30 p.m. UK time. So on the coming Friday, which is going to be the first Friday of August, we are going to get that data. Now, what makes the US NFP reading? We've already gone through that. The NFP reading is very much made by the ADP numbers and the ISM numbers as well. This week, we have seen the ISM numbers on Monday, which came very, very weak. Yesterday, we saw the factory data, which was slightly better then the anticipation, and today we have seen that the ADP numbers were very, very weak, and now these numbers, these ADP numbers are, which is also known as the private employment numbers. James, that is perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine, and thank you for being so honest on that. You know, people are coming and now they're saying that, look, I am newbie, I don't really understand it, break it down a little bit more, and that is exactly what we are doing. It excellent, excellent with that, for being so honest, because this session is not like about, you know, name and shame and stuff like that. Everyone is new, everyone needs to know everything, every question is a valid question. The more questions you guys will ask me, the better chances you guys are going to be having in order to better understand everything. You know, and if you guys don't ask me questions, then obviously, you know, you won't be able to learn too much in relation to that. So again, going back to that, you know, so the ADP number, which comes just before the US non-farm payroll number on Wednesday, and obviously today's Wednesday, it has gave us a very good picture that, okay, how the numbers are very much going to be reacting to this particular situation, and how the US NFP data will be on Friday. Now remember, the general consensus in the market is that the US non-farm payroll number is going to be strong, but the private employment market has told us today that that number was literally half than what the market was expecting. Why? Because the number has come in at 330,000. Market was expecting 700,000, literally that. And then on Friday, the general consensus in the market is that we will see 1 million jobs. So we will see how that will really tell us the full overall picture. Of course, if the number comes in very, very weak, we are going to see a price action reaction like the one that we have seen today. And then that is very much going to determine everything in terms of a market. Right. Does that make sense to you guys, how I have explained the importance of the US NFP and then what makes the US NFP reading? So we have kind of covered two important questions, two important study questions so far in this particular session. Number one is this one, and number two is that one. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Davia. I'm glad that you guys are on board, and Amutha, always good to see you. Always here, always willing to learn more. And that is obviously the best thing to do. Now, the next thing is important on the back of the US NFP data right over here comes from the third question. What do we do if the number is strong or if the number is weak? And more importantly, what instruments to really trade on back of that? I thought the US would be really okay. So Abdullah is asking question, how did the gold shoot up today? I thought the NFP would be released on Friday. Abdullah, you are absolutely correct. The NFP is going to be released on Friday, but today, as I said, what makes the US NFP reading right over here, one of that component, one of those ingredient data came out today, and that is the US ADP number, meaning the private number. So this number, it came out today, and it was a lot less, a lot more lower than what the market was expecting. Because of that, the gold price really shot to the upside. It went to the upside, gold price really, because traders now know that, okay, the Federal Reserve is not going to do anything in relation to its monetary policy. Hence, gold prices really went to the upside. Of course, we'll be discussing all of that in a lot more detail. Just give me a second, and then we will come to that. Now, what to make of this number? So if the number, let's say that on Friday, right? So we go on to the Friday, and then if that number is going to be coming in a little bit stronger, or little bit, let's say that if the number comes in weak, right? So the number is weak on Friday. Yeah. What does this mean? This means we could see what we saw today. Gold price will go up, equities will go up. Okay, that is more likely the scenario. And the currency market, in terms of a euro dollar, we are also going to see moving higher as well. So gold price will go up, equities would go up, okay, and then euro dollar is also going to go higher as well. Yeah, so that is what we kind of be looking at. Abdullah, okay, so there are a few more questions. Let me just go through them first. How do you find the ADP number? Any sites recommended? Very, very good question on that. And then I am so glad that you guys are asking me today so many questions. So in order for you guys to find that data, in order for you guys to know where that data is going to be coming from, you need to go to this particular site, forexfactory.com. Of course, you can also go on to AvaTrade's website as well. You know, AvaTrade website also has all that data as well. And then at here, 8:15 is a US time, and the UK time is 1:15. We get this particular number. So that is where you get that number from, if that answers your question. Now, let me go back to here. The next question is VIX index also increasing? Yes, Muller, absolutely. VIX index will have quite a lot of influence in terms of that as well. So we will look into that. So you're just going well a little bit ahead of things, but excellent, excellent. That's what exactly we would like to see. Abdullah, you're asking me to repeat it again. What I can say to you is that the recording is going to be available on our YouTube channel. The details of that I have shared with you guys earlier. So play that, and then you will get all that information, because we wanted to kind of build that momentum, wanted to continue to move forward as well, rather than me repeating it. But no problem. So keep asking those questions, keep those questions coming for sure. So what instruments to trade, right? So someone earlier said, Muller said, I believe, that VIX is also moving up. So what can we trade on the back of that? We can trade gold. We can trade equities, meaning the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, the German stock index as well, because they are having a lot of interconnectability as well. We can trade Forex, meaning euro dollar, anything with sterling dollar, dollar yen. All of these ones are very, very likely to move. And of course, the volatility index. The volatility index is also going to be moving on back of that. Now, Does that kind of answers all that questions? Can we put a tick next to this one over here? If you guys are happy with that particular question, if you are happy with that explanation, then we will go on to the next one, which is the current state of markets and analysis, right? So what is the current state of market? The current state of market, when we focus on the markets, really is, the current state is that the markets are very, very much trading towards their all-time high. Yeah, all-time, sorry. That became just a little, okay, just consider that that is A, or let's just put an A over here. So markets are trading near their all-time high, whether we are talking about the S&P 500 index, whether we are talking about the NASDAQ, whether we are talking about the Dow Jones Industrial, all these markets are very much trading towards their all-time high, which I will show you guys in a bit. Now, what in terms of analysis, what can we really take away from this particular aspect? Now, two things that are very, very important. The Fed, okay, so this is the central bank over in America, which controls the liquidity in the market, which controls the QE in the market, which controls the, interest rate in the market. They are looking at the economic numbers, basically this US NFP number. If this number doesn't show much strength, if this number comes lower, then this is going to continue to happen, meaning markets will continue to rise. We will continue to see more higher highs. However, if we see that this number is going to the upside, right? So the US NFP number starts to see that what the Fed, who is sitting over here, is going to see that this number is going higher, is going to say, okay, now it's time to pull that liquidity out of the system. Then what potentially could happen to this particular all-time high is a retracement. Markets can move to the downside. That is the potential one of the setup that we could really see in terms of the price action. So that is why the upcoming NFP data on Friday is going to be very, very important. It is going to bring in very, very big moves in the market. Now, how high the market can go, what to do with it, defining levels, defining a strategy, we are going to do all these 2 points by looking at the charts right now. But are you guys clear about this particular point? Can we put a check next to this one? If you guys are unsure, I wanted to explain it a little bit more in detail, and then we will go on to that. Okay, thank you very much for responding. People are saying that yes, they understand it. And if you don't understand it, ask me again. Maybe I can explain it to you guys. Okay, Dean is saying slightly bit unsure. Please explain a little bit more. Okay, Laura is saying, okay, so let me explain that bit more again. So in terms of analysis, yeah, so we have the Fed, the central bank in America. It controls everything. It controls the interest rate. It controls the liquidity. So all that support which comes from the central bank, all the support is controlled by the central bank. And if the central bank starts to withdraw that support, then we will see the markets over here responding, reacting to this one. Okay, so the central bank is watching this data, yeah, which is due on Friday. Now, if this number comes stronger, meaning we see more employment number, there is more pressure on the Fed, and what it is going to say is that, okay, market is improving, more jobs are coming, we need to withdraw the support. Market over here is going to react negatively. Yeah. And the second is, if the number comes in slow or weak, just like how we have seen the ADP number today, the Fed is going to say over here, the Fed, the central bank, is going to say, okay, we need to keep the support on for the time being. The market over here is more likely to react positively, and gold prices like to act more positively, and we're going to see them moving higher, just like we have seen it earlier today. Okay, now someone is asking what is the delay between the NFP data and the Fed doing actually something. They are the actual delay is quite a lot, but market reacts very, very fast, very, very fast, really, because the moment that the data is going to be coming out, speculators in the market will have their positions, will react to that already before the Fed will say anything. And then that is what something that we need to pay attention to. Okay, so now let's move on to the second part, because presumably that we can put a tick next to this one, hoping that everyone kind of understand that, right? Now, let me move on to the price action and explain the last 2 points a little bit in little bit more detail. Okay, so here we are. This is your MT4 platform, and I'm sure all of you guys must have seen this one. Now, going back to this particular candle over here, remember the price action over here was the reaction of the data that came out at 1:15 UK time, really referring to this candle, right? So we saw this big move to the upside. Why? Because the number was lower, and now the market is thinking that the Fed is going to do nothing. It will keep its support as the market wants to continue to move to the higher. Remember, that is what we kind of discussed in the previous slide, and then that is what the market is still doing it. Okay, so one of the instruments out of everything that you can definitely look at on Friday is going to be your euro dollar, and then look at the time frame on the 15-minute or a 5-minute time frame, because both of these time frames are very, very important in terms of a price action. This is where you're going to see the most of the reaction. So all the sell-off earlier today that we've seen before the data, all of that sell-off is very much recovered, has been recovered in the market, because earlier today the market started from here and then it went all the way to here. Now the market picked up its momentum and it is picking up more momentum, and it has recovered all of these losses. So that is what is going on with the euro dollar in terms of the euro dollar. Now, if I switch the my instrument, and if I go to gold, we will see a similar price action over here as well. So what is happening in the gold prices, in the gold sector, in the commodity sector, sorry, is that this price action over here, right over here, especially this particular one, it happened on back of that price, right? So what we really and this sort of a price action started to occur a little bit before the data. So some people in the market, they had some information, a pre-information, let's just say, some through their own sources. They started to push the market a little bit higher before. They started to push the market higher at right around this candle. So before the data was released, they were already pushing the market higher. Now gold prices have already gone to 1826, which is very, very positive, because the major support in terms of a gold price is really sitting over here, that 1807 price level. That is the big support. But this is the reaction. This is what can really happen. Can I trade commodities on NFP? Yes, you can. Certainly, this is your commodity. Gold is your commodity, really. So that you can certainly trade this one if you like, and if it fits your risk profile on Friday. So now this is one of the instruments, right? The second instrument. Then we go into the equity market. What is happening in the equity market really is that it's slightly different things what we've explained earlier. So what happened on back of the data over here is, in this particular candle, is the market actually sold off. Rather than going up, remember we talked about the markets can go up, the markets got actually sold off. Why it's been sold off? It's been sold off because of the excessive fear that the market is not gaining a lot of strength. But look where we are. Look the beautiful trading opportunity that we have. Let me show you that trading opportunity. We are in this support zone right over here as we speak. And now the price, or in terms of the RSI, is also oversold. Look at the RSI over here. Anything which is near 30 is an oversold, meaning you should be able to buy it. And when it gets to 70, you can sell it. So now market prices are moving to the upside. If you haven't entered into this position, you can enter this position as of now, and then put your stop losses just below that 34,853, and then really shoot at it, because this would be your risk. Your risk is this much, right? Now, in terms of a reward, this is the minimum reward over here, where this particular moving average is trading your 100-day, but you would have at least target this much reward over here, which is about nearly 1.9 times than where your risk is. But overall, you would expect the full position to be liquidated somewhere around this particular area. So somewhere around 34,984. So that is the area that you would be very much looking at in terms of a risk to reward ratio. Once again, let me explain to you that the good trading opportunity is really coming in terms of the Dow Jones on the 15-minute time frame. The price RSI shows that it is way, way oversold. The price entered into this area of support. It is coming out of that support area now. If you want to trade that, you could trade it, but as of now, but as the price is in battle with the 200-day simple moving average, put your stop losses below this particular one. But if the price rejects the 200-day simple moving average and comes back into this one, that would show a further sign of weakness. And despite the fact that we have an oversold over here, we could see a slightly bit more lower levels in terms of the price action. Now, this is for those traders who are very, very active in the market. And for the traders who are slightly bit more passive, who wanted to practice a little bit more patience, what you could do is you wanted to wait for the prices to come back into a better area of support. And that better area of support is 34,692, because now the price is breaking below the 50-day simple moving average on the 4-hour time frame. So in the short term, what we're really expecting over here is more retracement. Sorry, from the longer time frame, which is the most powerful time frame, we're expecting for the prices to move to the downside. The price tried to break above the previous resistance, which is right over here, 3 times. First time over here, the second time over here, the third time over here, and now the price failed to break the third time and is moving to the downside. For the last let's say that 120 minutes or so, we are seeing the momentum very much building to the downside. If price cannot stay above the 50-day simple moving average on the 4-hour time frame, I would not take this particular trade. I would really not take this trade, because in order for me to be confident, I want the price to break at least above or stay above that 34,925. That is a price I will, if it goes above that, that is great. Otherwise, I would really continue to short this market by putting the stop losses at the highs, and the high would be 34,925, or let's just say even the high of this one, which is about 34,980, and then target this particular zone over here. Now, if you are trading even on a bigger time frame, what we've seen is a lot of consolidation, not much trade happening over here at all. So the trades are very much based on the 4-hour time frame and on the 15-minute time frame. These are the two that we really kind of be very much should be watching and looking at more closely. Now, obviously, we lost some time earlier because of the tech problem, the tech issues. Now we have overgone in terms of our time today, just to make up for that time. Are you guys now clear about defining the strategy and about defining the levels and what instruments to trade? So once again, to recap, on Friday, you could trade for euro dollar. Friday, you could trade the Dow Jones Industrial Average, S&P 500. You can trade the DAX. You can trade gold. certainly. And right now, gold prices are very, very much in a bullish momentum. As you can see, they are moving higher. And this particular battle, we did a video on our YouTube channel. It's worth for you guys to have a look on that as well. So now the resistance is going to be coming in around that 1829 to 1835. Again, a lot more detailed analysis is on over there. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you. It's a pleasure. What about crypto? James is asking, what about crypto? Guys, I love cryptos, but right now, what we're really seeing in terms of a crypto market is a 4 consecutive days of losses. Today, we are seeing some sort of a buying pressure coming in, which is slightly a bit more positive. In terms of a price action, what I really sort of wanted to look at is as follows. This is going to be my my resistance zone, and my support zone is right over here. It's going to be right over here. This is my support zone. So I want the price, if your price comes over here, I want the price to respect the 100-day simple moving average and then bounce sharply back up, or let the price continue to move above that 50-day simple moving average, which is very, very likely right now because prices are oversold. All right, this particular webinar is not about cryptos. We have a special webinar only for cryptos, so we will cover all that in our next Master Series class. Thank you. Good luck on Friday, and the data once again will be coming out at 1:30 p.m. UK time. Enjoy and have a great day.